Hi everyone, I am gonna make myself some tea and do a little riff for you guys. I was just having some thoughts about the energy that we're moving through right now and how everyone talks about the veil thinning as closer we get to Halloween, Samhain, and El Dia de los Muertos. And I think that it's a good time to have a conversation about why that is on an energetic and physical perspective. And if you didn't know, my name is Nicole Keene, and I have a couple different avenues of communication going right now and teaching for people to interact in. You can hear the fizz of my teapot. I am an osteopathic manual therapist of around 25 years now, and I've been studying Eastern philosophies since about 1994, 1996, maybe in the mid-80s, if you really count some of the books that I used to read. And I have recently written and illustrated a book on how the spirit moves through the body based on ancient Taoist concepts of the spirit. I have reimagined them and translated them from a perspective of transformational interactions between the elements, whereas they had previously been translated by Chinese patriarchal influence that is more rooted in a perspective of control and domination. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can go to some of the links on the description I'll put for my courses, online courses, and the book I wrote and illustrated. And as part of that curriculum and that method I use, it's called the elementalAdvanced method. I have personified the spirit as related to ancient Taoist concepts and clarified the previous teaching. So there's a hummingbird. And it's big bird day at my house. I saw an eagle fly by a little bit earlier. But yeah, I clarified those teachings and the concepts and tried to create a little bit of a reductionist perspective of it as well, so it's easier to follow and implement into your daily practice. And part of that philosophy and theory that I use is that the fire element lifts and supports the water element through the wood element, helping draw water up through the roots of wood and then release into the air, transform water into water vapor through the leaves of the tree. And that happens from the warmth of fire, the fire element, the warmth element, through the sun. And that nexus between the fire and the water element is what also helps align the wills of the body. So the free will that's seated in the kidneys, that's more of like your ego-based human, what I want to be doing, and the divine will that we carry with us, which is rooted in the wood element and the spirit affiliation of the wood element. So that spirit affiliation of Ji, they call it in Asian medical theory, that helps lift and support the Ji spirit in the kidneys. And the assistance it gives that spirit is really actualized through alignment of the body's physical tissues and energy system, because they're one and the same, through the channels of the fire element and the triple warmer of the fire element. And if you want to know more about that, it's talked about in the book in detail. I also have a curriculum, Elemental Manual, Meridian Theory and Techniques, that's all online, and that you can go to my website and take a look at all that. But yeah, that fire-water connection helps align and bring in a channel for divine will to enter the body. So this period of time that we're in is in between the Aries full moon and the Scorpio new moon, fire and water, and it opens up this channel that divine source energy can flow through, and we have a connection to the collective unconscious, we have a connection to our ancestral heritage, and if we sit and are still in that process and that knowing, and especially if we use intention through understanding the tissue systems and the energy systems of the body, then we can really connect that cord that we have up to our divinity and pull it down into us and really be able to actualize and manifest and carry out inspired action in this world, and not only be able to tap into higher consciousness, but actually like bring it into this 3D experience. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, I'd love to talk with you more. If you want to send me a DM, if you want to go to my websites, Elemental Advanced Manual Therapy, elementalAdvancedMT.com. It gives a bunch of great information for that and links into the course portal. And yeah, it's a really interesting conversation. So I might talk more about it here since we're in that zone. And I have been doing also card pulls, oracle card pulls, and tarot readings, talking about the astrology and the energies of the current times we're in here and there, through my Elemental Alma YouTube station. And that's kind of more, you know, my like creative space. So the Elemental Advanced work and channels, the Instagram for Elemental Advanced, and it's elemental.advanced, and then the Elemental Advanced Manual Therapy websites, elementalAdvancedMT.com. That's more my professional channels where I really try to root things into the physical. And then the Elemental Alma station on YouTube and my Instagram, Elemental Alma, is more my creative space. So we get into all the fun, crafty, creative tarot cards, oracle cards, artistry in that respect, but I try to weave them all together because bringing that awareness of the body into your practice, into your spiritual practice, is just makes it so much more powerful. Like if you have Reiki attunements and you're a Reiki practitioner, the work that I do professionally and teach professionally really makes that creative space and that spiritual space so much more effective and healing for you to work with yourself and your clients. So really that visual perspective that you get when you actually can visualize the anatomy and physiology of the energy system of the body just takes it to another dimension. So I'd love to speak with you guys more about it. You all more family. So join me in any of those channels that I just mentioned, and I look forward to sharing more with you, and enjoy this time, because this couple weeks that we're in right now, it's a really powerful time to connect in with yourself so you can then connect in with the divine. Enjoy. I got my tea, and I forgot to mention a little riff that I just recorded. Oh, having a hard time getting hold of it. That I was talking about when I was making the tea, about the current energies and the significance of the alignments of those energies. I forgot to mention that Scorpio in and of itself is like a fiery water sign, and the Aries full moon and the Scorpio new moon in particular is super powerful because Mars is the ruler, the ancient ruler of Scorpio, and the modern ruler, forever time ruler of Aries. So we have a Mars ruled situation we're in within these 2 weeks. So you may feel the effects of that, and at any rate, it is quite powerful. And you know, Scorpio being a fiery water sign of like a little creature that lives in the desert, but it's a water sign, it has that dualistic kind of dichotomy of that fire water, wet dry kind of situation going on. And it's almost pulling in that Gemini energy where you can get this dualistic perspective and contrasty kind of energy going on. So I think that is also contributing to why people say, you know, the veil is, quote, thinner, quote unquote, I'm thinner, thinner during this time. I think that necessitates a sip of tea. I'm a little distracted because the mug's actually quite hot. The tea is a decent temperature to drink right now. It was not right before, but it is now, but the mug is still quite hot. But anyways, yeah, that dualistic nature of the sign of Gemini. And I think that air element quality gets pulled into this zone also because it is, you know, the sun is in Libra, which is an air sign. So, and yeah, it's that balance between that light dark, that's Libra, because Libra is a bit of a dualistic sign too with the balancing. Yeah, it's interesting because The other air sign's Aquarius, which is the water bearer. So yeah, air has this unique ability to move, currents and affect the way that water moves and the quality of water movement. And it also affects the quality of fire and the strength of fire as well. So I think that's really and particularly why these 2 weeks are just so extremely powerful, and how that transition into Scorpio season just really is very forceful and dramatic. So here we are. Enjoy.